What's up, world? It's your boy Big Court here with Roasta and Myisha Pooh on the Hostile Takeover, and we keeping it 100. Check out my episode.
You got to have a lot of heart. You got to have a lot of soul. You got to have a fat gap. A brother better be strapped.
Energy.
My people. Once again, we are in the building. Hostile Takeover presents another episode of Keeping It 100 with Roasta and Myisha Pooh. Myisha Pooh was not able to be here today, so we got my beautiful niece. She came to sit in, you know what I'm saying, to help me out with this interview. We have a special guest in here today, you know what I mean. He's an entrepreneur. You know, as a matter of fact, this is what we're gonna do. We're gonna let him tell you who he is. Big Court.
What's going on with you, OG?
What's going on, baby?
I appreciate you having me, brother.
No doubt about it.
Yeah, you too, Miss Lady.
All right.
That's TT.
TT.
Yeah.
Appreciate you.
Yeah. So listen. This is what I want to know first. How did you find out about this podcast?
Come on, man. You know you blowing up, bruh. You know what I'm saying?
I just want to hear it.
Oh, you want to hear it?
Yeah, I just want to hear the shit.
You know, I came across your shit on YouTube, bruh.
Okay.
And you know, I start following you. I'm trying to think the first one I seen. I mean, I seen the Too Short. I seen the Wack one, a little bit of the Wack one, and a few other ones that I seen. But you know, I liked how you carried it. So
Yeah.
yeah.
No doubt about it. It's just cool because you know, journalism is a motherfucker, though, right?
Mm-hmm.
I know you got your own podcast.
Yep.
And when you're doing it, there's a certain amount of homework that you have to do in order for you to conduct a proper interview.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
And I love doing it. And I like different twists. You know what I mean? And I listen and make sure that I'm accurate about the things that I speak on.
Right.
You know what I mean? One of the first things we want to speak on today is you had an issue with the boy Wack100.
Yeah.
Saying about your partner P.
Yeah.
Now give us a rundown about you and P relationship right quick.
Well, you know, I'm originally from Kansas City, Missouri. So
Right.
I signed with P as an artist in 1996. The first album I did with No Limit was Down South Hustlers. So
As a rapper.
as a rapper, I was a rapper back then. Yeah, I was a part of a group called CCG. So people probably knew me as Court Dog back in the day.
Yeah.
And so me and P have a relationship to go back 26 years. You know what I'm saying? So that's big bro. That's like family, you
Right.
know? So, but you know, as far as Wack, I don't have a personal problem with Wack, you know, nor does P. You know what I'm saying? He said some disparaging things about my brother, and I felt, you know, I felt compelled to address it. You know what I'm saying? But it was more so not about what he said.
What did he say?
Well, he tried to say that, you know, P was broke and all that old dumbass shit. You know what I mean? Which is innuendo. It's false. You know what I mean? That's just, you know. So anyway. Because the thing is, if a nigga say he a real nigga, what's the way that you gonna undermine him? You either gonna attack his street credibility, say he a snitch, or attack his sexuality. You know what I mean?
Right.
So it's an old play from the Hater Handbook. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So so when he said it, I was really just addressing the narrative, the negative narrative. You know what I'm saying? Not just what he said about P, but the behavior. It's like, damn, why we keep doing this to each other? Why we got? Because the thing about it is, if he had to say something positive, he had to say it with, damn, P been working in the community for 20 plus years, giving back his time and giving back his money. The media sites wouldn't have picked up on it. You see what I'm saying? But he say something negative, which is false, you know, and it's controversial, then that moves the needle. So when I addressed Wack, I was really addressing everybody that does that type of shit. You know what I'm saying? Because to me, that's just some fuck shit. And it's parasitic. It's like a parasite. Like, motherfuckers like that, like, think about it. And I'm not just talking about Wack, but like, people like that, they can't create anything. Think about it. What is your talent? Can you sit down and create something? Or do you just latch on to everybody that's doing something and try to suck the life out of them? You know what I'm saying? So
well, what happens so often is that you get individuals like Wack100 who, like I said, it's a method to his madness, right? This is his segue of getting into the game and staying relevant,
right?
And feeling important and everything. Because at the end of the day, being real, the fact that somebody said somebody is broke, I don't give a fuck about that.
Right. Nor did we. Now this the thing about it. What you just said, that's what I have come to recognize. Is I think, because I even told P this, I said, I wouldn't even take that personal. I don't even think what he does to 90% of the people he do it to is personal. I think this is a business model for him. I think this is just him playing the game to get his name, get his numbers up. He trying to take the academics route, the 6ix9ine route, and basically just try to get to a bag. It's risky. I don't think it's worth it because, see, you got to think, everybody's not playing.
Right.
And everybody don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? Some motherfuckers gonna take you for face value. And I don't think it's worth it, not for the click or the bag.
Yeah, that's my whole concept. Yeah. Also, you know what I mean. Just like I told him, you know that I would never take that route.
No. Because
first and foremost, I'm gonna be respected.
Right.
And how I be respected is I show respect.
Exactly.
You know what I mean? To whoever it may be, whatever we doing, however we wiggling,
right?
You know what I'm saying? Through we maneuvering through the manure. I'm going to make sure that I do it respectfully.
Exactly.
When I leave, I'm gonna leave dignified with my dignity, and I'm gonna make sure that you leave with your dignity.
Right. And with integrity. I mean? Yeah. And that's the thing about it, with integrity, and let the record reflect. Like, I don't have a personal problem with Wack. I don't know him. I never met him. You know, I don't know him personally to have a personal problem with him.
Right.
It was just really, I mean, I was just commentating on how he does what he does.
Well, the angle that you took, I watched the interview with your boy from Watts.
Chico Brown.
He was from Compton.
Compton. Yeah, from Corner
so
Pocket.
I watched the interview, and the angle you took was a respectable one.
Right.
I at first expected you to act wackish.
Nah.
But you didn't do that, so I said, okay, I like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I know this would be a great interview because we have to use our intelligence.
Exactly.
We have to be able to say, you know what, man, I'm smarter than that.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know? And I have a responsibility. If I got a platform and everybody is watching, that mean that I can give a lesson and everybody learns. You dig what I'm saying?
And that's part of what my message was too, OG, was the fact that even with Wack, like, Wack is not unintelligent. He's actually a very intelligent dude. You know what I'm saying? But I think, and I think he could be way more effective if he didn't, you know what I'm saying, pollute what he does with the ignorant shit. He could be way more effective in the culture. Right. So that was why I was kind of like, my nigga, like, you done made it out, you doing this, you doing that. You know how to do some shit, but you going left with it. So that was some of it, because it's not because I hate him, it's because I see more than what he's doing. Right. I see more in him than he probably see in himself. Yeah. So that's what I was saying.
You know how Wack got like two sides to him, right?
That's what I heard.
Yeah, so do you think it's because he got those two sides that it's a problem? Because, you know, when a troll is a troll, you usually don't respond because you know it's just a troll.
Right.
But when somebody got something else behind them, it's like, come on. Like, you can't move like that because I don't even know what side, like,
that's
who you
true.
being right now.
Right, no, real talk. And I think that sometimes that's what I mean when you're dealing with a lot of these youngsters on Clubhouse and social media. They're very impressionable. Right. You know, they don't know the difference. They don't know. I'm old. I'm 45 years old. So I can, once I seen what he was doing, I said, okay, I peeped the play. This is a business move. You know, they don't know that. Right. They just thinking, oh yeah, nigga, it's on go. We, you know, this real shit, nigga. We on Clubhouse, nigga. When I see you, and that's where it becomes dangerous. You know what I mean?
Right.
And you got to think, and then too, the youngsters looking at us as OGs, as older guys, you know, they think that's the way to do it. Now they think that, oh shit, nigga, we just do like 6ix9ine, we do like Wack, we just troll everybody, and we, you know, it's Wild Wild West out here. They don't know they get you killed. You know, so that's the part that I'm saying. It has, yeah.
It has gotten people killed. So, like I told him, I didn't understand how he was still living the way he talked to people.
No,
you know
that's, I mean, God is definitely smiling on him. I mean,
most definitely.
But I don't know if it's just some big ass meeting that we wasn't invited to, that everybody else has got the understanding and we didn't get the memo. You know what I'm saying?
Some type of conspiracy theory.
Yeah, because
that we not involved with. Yeah. So
because let me, and this is what I said. Even when I addressed him the first time, that's the thing. I don't want to see nothing happen to this guy. You know what I'm saying? He got a family. You know what I mean? He got businesses. He could be of value. We good? Okay. He could be a value, you know what I'm saying, to the culture. But, you know, I just think he's playing a dangerous game.
Yeah, most definitely. Okay. Off of Wack on the big court.
Yeah.
Big court from Kansas City. It's my understanding you dibble and dabbled in the game.
Yeah.
As far as selling drugs?
Allegedly.
No, you was selling drugs. You said it in your interview. I ain't making this shit up.
You ain't making shit up.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you like this here, so you can be comfortable. We keep it.
Oh, it's all good. Yeah. Now I'm fucking with
100.
you. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I'm fucking with you.
Yeah, I was, I sold drugs and everything under the motherfucking sun. You know what I mean? Check and pass, all that. Wouldn't change nothing. You feel me? That's why I am who I am today.
Absolutely.
But I heard you saying certain things. You know that you was getting money.
Yeah.
You was getting money.
I had a
you
run.
was getting money to the point to where you could spend $300,000 and that not miss it.
Right.
You know what I mean? Investments.
Yes.
You making investments, not even understanding how to return on the investments.
Yep.
You know what I mean?
Yep.
And that happens to a lot of us. Yep. So give me just an idea of investment that you made. You know, I know you did the movie. Give me another investment you made and didn't really see.
And I failed at?
Yes.
Oh shit, a couple of them, a lot of them.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? L's is part of the game. Well, you know, going back to the drug thing, you know, coming up in the crack era, you know, I was made in the 70s, raised in the 80s. So I seen the whole crack shit. I really didn't get involved with the hard drugs because I seen them giving niggas football numbers, you know, for 16s, for 8 balls, for ounces and shit. Niggas getting 20, 25, 30 years.
Right.
So I just couldn't reconcile the amount of time for the little money, you know, and especially because, it ain't like niggas was getting caught with bricks or nothing. You talking about just street level shit, 4.5s and shit. So I went to weed, you know, but with weed, I still was, you know, it was a lot, you know what I mean? So I'm still dealing with federal guidelines with the weed. And I'm saying this for a reason. So as I was getting money with weed, this was back in the late 90s, early 2000s, well, late 90s. You know, weed is a volume thing. You know, it ain't like you make a lot off each one, but if you got 1,000 of them, then you make something, right? So I bought my first investment was a property, one house, you know, and I started buying houses just in case I went to jail. That was what my intention was the first time. And so I'm sitting there looking at this house. I was like 60,000 into it. And I was like, fuck, I can rent this house out for $600 a month. I'm gonna be all fucking year trying to, you know, forever trying to get my investment back. And then it went in my head like, oh shit, this is like weed. It's a volume thing. So if I get 10 of these, you know, now I'm 6,000 a month, you know, passive income. So that was my goal. So by the time I hit 21, 22, I had like I think about 13 properties free and clear.
Wow.
Yeah. I knew nothing about equity or leveraging or none of that. I didn't know none of that shit, right? So when I hit probably about 23, 24, my brother introduced me to this lady that worked in business lending at a local bank in Kansas City. And so she got me like a $500,000 line of credit over my properties. So I was like, oh shit, like that's how that worked. You know, I didn't know what equity was, right?
Right.
And so, so with that $500,000, I dibbled and dabbled into other businesses that I knew nothing about. I had a beauty salon in Atlanta. That shit failed. You know what I mean? I had a recording studio. That shit failed. And then I got this shit right when Pro Tools and shit start coming out. So I had ADATs and all the shit you didn't need no more. So timing was terrible.
So how long was it before the beauty salon failed?
Maybe about a year and a half. Yeah.
And basically you were paying out your pocket.
Yep.
And it wasn't garnering any money.
Because I didn't take time. This is why I tell people, and what I learned is when you don't take time to learn and study what it is you're trying to do, you're going to fail at it. So that's why I tell people I'm a purpose chaser, not a paper chaser. Because when you chasing money, that only applies in the street, because that's all it is. But with legitimate shit, you got to do something you love, because then you'll take the time out to really understand it and you'll win at it. You know what I'm saying? So everything that I felt, and I took some L's in real estate too, you know, because I only went to high school. I'm not formally educated. So some of the L's I took was from not having the knowledge and the education, you know. So I lost my ass in some real estate shit too.
So are you still in real estate today?
Yeah. I own 44 properties, and I own a property management company, and we manage like $7 million worth of assets.
Yeah, and that management company, you really slipped up on.
Yeah,
The property management.
Yeah, you did your research.
Yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
Yeah.
That was a cool story. You had no idea, but you knew people.
Yep.
You know, I say your network defines your net worth. You feel me?
I got a question. When did it click though? Because you were saying you was getting the money in the streets, and then eventually you wanted to invest in something that was legal, legitimate. But what made it click for you?
I knew it was an expiration date. You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, I was smart enough to know that I was having a good run.
Yeah.
You know, I knew this shit wasn't gonna last forever. You know what I mean? So again, like I said, it just one thing led to another. I can't say I had a predetermined time that I was like, okay, in 4 years I'm gonna get out of this and do. Nah, I told you I started buying the houses just in case I went to jail.
Right.
So I would have something to leverage to help get me out. You know, that was what I was planning for.
That was chess.
Yeah.
That was most definitely chess.
And so as new information came in, as I'm, you know, progressing, then I made the necessary changes.
Right.
And so it got to a point once I moved to LA, you know, my legitimate shit was doing what it was doing, and I didn't have to fuck with the weed, which was a big weight off my back. 'Cause
right.
the logistics in that shit was just getting on my nerves, and the borders was getting tight. It was just bad.
Right.
Yeah. So now you got this real estate. Is it more down? 'Cause I know you said that, okay, the property in California is high as a motherfucker.
I didn't do it in Cali.
So
It was in
down south.
Missouri. Yeah. I couldn't afford to do it I couldn't do what I did in California, what I did in Missouri.
Right.
No, it's too expensive.
Right. Yeah. Have you bought any property in California?
Yeah. I have a primary house. That's it. But that's a liability. That ain't no fucking investment.
That's where you live.
Yeah. I live in LA.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, it costs money to live in LA.
Yeah. Hell yeah.
Most definitely.
Yeah,
most
real
definitely.
shit. And I'm in Calabasas, so.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that shit expensive as fuck.
You did?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know, you making it happen.
Yeah.
A young black entrepreneur and teaching on the way.
Yeah,
You know
real
what I mean?
talk.
Those are the type of people I like. We had a brother on here, he's from our city, named Vidal White. Vidal Prevost. And he's also owned his first property by the time he was 21.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? How old was you when you first?
22 or something. Yeah.
22? She first bought her property.
Oh,
She
congratulations.
was 22
Out here?
years old.
I was in Atlanta at the time,
Oh,
but I
okay.
done did some stuff out here too.
But she's a
I
female.
lost in Atlanta. That's where I took my L's at, in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And that's what I like to talk about too, is not just my wins, but my failures. You know what I mean? Because really, when you think about it, success is a culmination of failures. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It wasn't, you know, success is a kind of a circuitous, you know, path. You know what I mean? Like it's zigzag. You feel what I'm saying? It ain't a straight line. So, in Atlanta, I took hella L's, especially doing that 08, 09 shit.
We was winning out there during that time.
You was winning?
Yeah,
I
we was
losing.
winning out
You
there.
probably got some of my shit I lost.
Probably.
Yeah, I lost real big.
You know, all the shit that was boarded up out there and shit.
Yeah.
We just went up in there and was.
Yeah, I was in Decatur. Where was you at?
Shit, we was all over.
Okay.
We was all over.
Yeah, I had a whole little pocket in Decatur. I had 7 properties. And yeah, man, I bought that shit, you know, doing too much just for the shit to be worth half of what it was.
We was over there by MLK.
Flash
That was
shows.
the first one over there.
Yeah, my
it's
shit
been
was
a
Flash
minute,
shows.
so I'm like, shit, I don't even remember you from
Yeah.
But
I don't call.
I lived in Spring Valley for a minute.
Oh, okay.
All summer.
So you know what I'm talking about, flash shows? Yeah, yep.
Yeah, I call them L's, which you may call losses. I call them lessons.
Absolutely,
You know what I mean?
absolutely.
And I've had a lot of lessons myself. But you hooked up with Master P. What age were you then?
18.
18. You was a youngster.
Yeah, I was a kid. Yeah.
And so what was it? Because you know Master P, he somehow has a niche on teaching.
right.
Yep.
He took Snoop about a situation, and Snoop had no idea what he was doing, and Snoop never looked back.
Right.
He gave him the necessary game to be successful, and it seemed like how Snoop going forever.
Right.
You know what I mean? And then to see a young brother like you, who met him at 18, and now you're 45 years old, and to be successful, then how much of that was Master P?
Well, you know, energies are contagious. You feel me?
Right.
So it don't make sense to stand next to somebody with that type of power and don't leave with none. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So yeah, I mean, when you around people, you're going to be influenced. You know, so I would say maybe a good portion. You know, because I'm an only child. You feel me? So P and Boz have always served as like big brothers. So, you know, I get, it's all work ethic. You get used to, you know, when you hang around niggas, you just start taking on certain things, you know what I mean? And I'm sure it's things that he's taking on from me as well. And you incorporate that into your everyday life. So, yeah, I would say a good portion, you know. Some of it was innate, some of it you just born with, you know. Like, I always was a very disciplined and focused dude. I never smoked, I never drank, I never really had habits like that, always been very disciplined. So that helped as well. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I say a good portion, you know.
Is that what's that on your thing? A no limit tank?
Yep. No limit forever. Yep.
You did?
Yeah.
And you know, I didn't even notice that.
Yeah.
I just noticed that right now.
Yeah.
That motherfucker nice.
Yeah. No limit forever. Yeah.
That's what's up.
Yeah, make sure he get to the car with that.
Oh, we good. I got the mob with me.
I'm just fucking with you. I'm just fucking with you. Yeah, ain't nobody gonna do nothing yet. Ain't nobody gonna come over here and do nothing, I can guarantee you. You feel me?
Yeah, nah, we good.
Big court. So I was like, okay, that's Master P. People asking me like, man, who you interviewing? I say Big Court.
Yeah.
They like, okay, who was that? Then I gotta break the whole story down.
Yeah.
I'm
I think
people.
I told you.
I'm people. I'm people.
He's just gonna bust you out.
Oh, yeah,
right
I'm
there.
people. Go ahead and say it. I'm
Her
people.
Yeah.
and everybody else who is
Yeah.
Big Court.
Yeah.
So I said who Big Court was so many motherfucking times. I know you now.
Yeah, I appreciate that.
No,
I mean,
no,
you know
no,
what?
we
This the
friends.
thing, bruh. I mean, you know, I've been playing the background for a long time. You know, see, it's a disconnect with me because in the 90s, I was a rapper. I was Court Dog, right? And I was a part of a group called CCG. We was in Murder Dog all the time. I was in magazines and all that shit. Even to this day, people are just now still putting together I'm the same nigga. But there was a period, because I was late to social media. I only been on social media 5 years. So there was a period of 15 years where once I moved to LA, nobody seen me. You know, I was doing a lot of cool ass shit. But if you didn't know me, you just didn't know. You know what I'm saying? So you gotta think, when I was Court Dog, I had long braids, I was thinner, you know what I'm saying? Then when I got on social media, I was Big Court, I didn't yoked up, and so people was like, who the fuck is he? You know what I'm saying? So I played the background for a long time. So then now that I'm coming from the background, people are like, oh yeah, that's a nigga be with P all the time. You know, so that's what that is.
I watched the interview, and you were saying that once the group was no longer on No Limit, that you wasn't ready to go solo.
Yeah.
The whole time I'm watching, I'm like, what the fuck you mean he ain't ready to go solo?
That's real shit.
Why weren't you ready?
Fuck, I just wasn't ready. I wasn't I wasn't confident like that as an artist, because initially, like, you know, everybody got their roles in a group or a duo. And my partner Cisco, he was the nucleus of the group. He was the creative force. He produced all the music. He conceptualized all the songs. He would give me songs almost already done and just say, okay, write your verse.
Yeah, but I would think though, making it to, P, to his presence,
Nah.
it's the confidence that anybody would need.
I
You're
wasn't,
in front of P.
Because I was the business. Like, I was the business brain. I was the mouthpiece of the group. He was the creative. But at that juncture, at me being 18 at that very moment, fuck no, I wasn't confident.
Right.
I couldn't do it without him. At least that's how I felt at the time. That's just being real.
She was honest.
Right,
Yeah,
no,
that's
I
just being
respect
real.
it.
Yeah.
You didn't want to waste that time.
No.
Some of us have that insight.
Yeah.
Some of us will keep doing some shit and know we ain't ready. And,
No,
And,
no.
and then waste all that time and fail miserably at it.
Nah, because I still would have needed him to help me. You know what I'm saying? Or at least, mentally, I felt like I needed him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Which, when I did end up doing a solo album, my partner produced the whole album.
Right.
You know what I mean? But it was still, I was comfortable. But this was years later. I didn't release my first solo album until 4 years after the No Limit thing. So it took me 4 years to build up that confidence.
Right.
Yeah.
Do you still have do you still like want to write sometime?
Nah.
That's
That
over
shit
with?
done passed, yeah. You
shit's
know what I'm saying?
over.
Yeah. I mean, the last little shit I did was maybe about 5 years ago, just fucking around, playing with it. But nah, man, I leave that up to the youngsters. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's right.
Like
That's
right now, I'm just focused on the podcast, the Holding Court podcast, and some of my other business endeavors that I have with P. We got the new supplement coming out. I got a book that I'm in the middle of writing called Chronicles of a No Limit Soldier. So
Okay.
yeah.
So how long have you been doing your podcast?
Not even a year. Probably just rolling up on a year in June.
Right.
And man, shit, I love it. I enjoy that shit, and I didn't realize that it was a talent I guess that's subjective, but you know what I'm saying? I didn't realize it was something that I enjoyed until me, P, and Jay Tweezy, we had a show called Doing the Most on Playboy Radio about 4 or 5 years ago. And so that's when I got the first taste of doing radio talk show shit. And so it was P and Jay Tweezy that was like, man, you kind of good at this, Right. I was like, really? They was like, yeah. So then I would start like doing lives and shit. And then my followers would be like, you should do a podcast. I didn't know what the fuck a podcast was. You know what I'm saying? Just being real. And so during the quarantine, I started watching a bunch of podcasts, Gangster Chronicles and Drink Champs and Vlad and all that shit. And I was like, damn, I might have something to offer in this space.
Right.
Yeah.
And so me and producer Ken, which is a friend of mine, he'd have done a lot of heavyweight production in LA. He did like the Housewives, all that shit. And so he was the one that gave me the look and all that.
Okay.
So yeah, we put that down.
Yeah, it kind of happened the same way with me. I just was, I was watching my brother first. He had his podcast, and I seen he was real. I liked it the way he approached it, and and then for some reason he stopped. I said, hold on, man, let me try it. And then when I tried it, I fell in love.
Yeah.
I actually like interrogating people.
Yeah.
I probably should have been a motherfucking lawyer or something, man.
You feel like you be interrogating?
Yeah, I do. I do, because that's why I call it keeping it 100.
Yeah.
Because people will get up and they'll be living a certain type of life, and when they get in your face, they say something different. I want to be I want to be the person to say it's okay to tell the truth right
Exactly.
Keep it 100.
No, real
That's the
shit.
platform for it.
Shit.
I want you, so that's what people been loving about me, is that it's okay. You can come tell the truth right here.
Yeah, real
You can
talk.
tell the truth. And I'm going to know if you lying.
Yeah. In this day and age, I mean, to be honest with you, dog, it's with social media and the internet, man, like, you a damn fool to be trying to be tell a bunch of lies and shit, because Motherfuckers can find
Well,
out
it's a
whatever
whole
they
lot
want.
of damn food.
It is,
There's
absolutely.
a whole lot of damn
lot of
food.
them.
You know how many people that took my money and got on camera like this?
Oh yeah, that's what niggas do. So that means you the plug.
Yeah,
Niggas get on with the plug money and be fronting
yeah,
this shit.
all that. I'm talking about, you know what I'm saying? But you know, my whole thing is let's tell the truth. In the media, in the social media world, it's not a lot of truth.
Right.
It's just a lot of speculation.
Yes.
It's a lot of man, I don't know. You know what I mean? It's like, come on, tell the truth, man.
But then it's the other side to it, OG, is, you know, sometimes just because it's the truth, it don't have to be said too. Sometimes motherfuckers got to learn time and place.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
and I'm just saying
but
that.
I know the difference, though.
Right.
Like, I'm not going to ask you about no murders.
Right,
Or
right.
no shit like that and
Right.
say, I remember you were the one who did it, nigga.
Right.
No, I'm not gonna do all that.
Yeah. Well, no, I'm not saying even with you, but I'm saying kind of circling back to what we were saying in terms of just social media and how the mess. You know what I mean?
It ain't no rules on social
That's
media.
what I'm
though.
saying.
Everything
but,
goes.
But yeah, at some point, man, motherfucker gotta have some integrity. Like how you comport yourself and represent yourself. Like I just don't want to do it. It's a lot of things I could say about a lot of motherfuckers, right? I just think that's some hoe ass shit. I mean, because if I want to say it, I'm gonna say it to you in your face.
Right.
Like how you said when you seen what I did addressing the situation. There's no way in hell I was gonna get on there and be, yo, you bitch ass nigga, you hoe ass nigga. To me, that's some bitch shit. Cause he's not here.
Right.
You know, that's throwing rocks and hiding my hands, or that's, you know, that's some email. You know how motherfuckers email and text you some tough shit.
That's
you
the
know,
most cowardly shit.
that's what I'm
that
saying.
I ever imagined.
So I wouldn't even do that.
Right.
If I have something to say or if I know something about you, I my fulfillment comes from telling you to your face. Look, you hoe ass nigga, I know about whoop-de-woo, the boys you do with all that shit.
Right.
You know, to me, that's some growing up hip hop shit to be trying to expose and out people. That's why I don't respect none of it. You know
But you
what I
know
mean?
what? People move on social media how they move in the streets. If you're a clown
Yeah.
on social media,
This
you're
is
a
true.
clown out here.
This
you know,
is true.
So I think people get it twisted and think because it's social media, a snitch ain't gonna be a snitch. You feel me? A clown ain't gonna be a clown.
Right.
But there ain't no rules on social media.
Yeah.
You ain't gonna be able to control them on there. Out here,
Yeah.
it's, you know what I mean.
But that's and that's like for me, I feel like I'm the antithesis of that bullshit, and that's what my platform and me just as a big court brand, that's what I try to represent. You know, I'm not infallible, I'm not perfect, I'm never trying to, I made a lot of mistakes and I'm gonna make a whole lot more, you know what I mean? But I still try to be the best person I can be and comport myself with some, you know, like I say, some integrity, you know, and that's the only thing that I be fucked up about is just people think that shit's cool. Like that shit is soft to me. Like exposing niggas and telling and just telling, you know,
Right,
talking,
right.
you know, just talking ass niggas. I don't, maybe it's just the generation I'm from.
Yeah, but
you
then
know?
you got people who respond to it so heavily that you think this is the right thing to do.
But then this is
You
the
know?
thing. It's a catch-22, right? Because, you know, a lie don't care who tells it, right? So at the end of the day, sometimes shit can get legs. You know what I'm saying? The truth is stand still while a lie runs a marathon. So
Right.
sometimes you're forced to address some shit. You know what I mean? Because a lie can become the truth. If one person say it, then enough people start. It's just like conspiracy.
Right.
Enough people say it's you, nigga. Rather it's not. Well, they said it's you. Come on, nigga.
Right.
Like
You know
got
what I mean?
to clear it up.
Yeah.
Just like with ratting, right?
Yeah.
With somebody saying like, I know the boy Wack100, he tried to talk to me about T.I. and basically trying to say T.I. was a rat.
Yeah.
Now, my whole thing, you know, I grew up in prison, man, and if you had to rat, let me tell you what a rat is. A rat is somebody who's committing a crime. Y'all get busted. He turns the evidence over. He tells on you.
Right. Exactly.
Right? That's a rat.
Yep.
Now, somebody goes to jail for that information. You feel me?
Yep.
You want to say T.I. is a rat. Who's in jail because of what T.I. said?
Right.
Right.
No, just that be the easiest fucking question.
I'm not aware of it. Yeah.
What I'm saying is there is nobody.
No, I know. That's what I'm saying.
There's
I
nobody
don't
in
know.
jail
Yeah.
for what they supposed to be saying T.I.
Yeah.
Rat.
Yeah.
Who the fuck went to jail? So
They
therefore,
haven't,
guess
no
what?
nigga has come forward yet.
There's
Yeah.
no rat.
Yeah.
So there's no rat.
Yeah.
So basically, it's speculation. It's
Yeah.
bullshit.
It's
really.
innuendo. That's what I be talking
Yeah,
about.
yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, most
and that's why
definitely.
the shit be irresponsible. That's what I'm saying. Because now what happens is you start fucking with a nigga's credibility. You don't know how you affecting that man's livelihood and his business or anybody. You don't know how you fucking with them, you know, and you can't just be playing with everybody and
Right.
playing with their reputation. It's
Because
dangerous.
it's not cool.
It's not cool. It's dangerous too.
Now listen, let's get into something right quick.
Yeah.
The nigga,
Cat
Cat
Williams.
Williams.
I was
Oh,
waiting for
shit.
this shit.
What the fuck
Yeah.
happened with Cat Williams?
Man, that's my nigga, man. Shout out to Cat Williams, crazy ass.
Shout out to Cat Williams, man.
I don't know what happened with him. I had a Charlie Murphy True Hollywood Story moment with him. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And yeah, he
What was it,
lost
though?
it over a basketball game. You know what I'm saying? And so we had a little incident. This was years ago. This was maybe about 6 years ago now, 6, 7 years
It
ago.
was just a funny story.
It was.
Yeah.
You want me to tell the story?
You should tell it
Yeah,
because I
please.
probably ruined it, but this shit was hilarious.
All right, so I hadn't seen Cat. So when I first moved to LA, me and Cat was like this. Cat did my movie, him and Lawrence Hill Jacobs.
Right.
Cat was my dog. His kids used to call me Uncle Court Dog, right? And so we was cool. That was my nigga, right? So when he was going through the little rough patch of getting in trouble, you know, we had I just had lost communication with him. And so I hadn't talked to him for about 5 or 6 years. And so he resurfaced around the time that this happened. This was like 14, I think, 13 or 14, 15. And so he hit me through a mutual friend. Like, man, you know, I'm in Malibu, bro. You ain't even hollered at me. I'm like, nigga, where you been? Whatever, right? So I was like, well, shit, I'm going to come through fuck with you, right? And so I get over to his house. I hadn't seen him in a minute. Now, he hadn't seen me in a minute either. You know, so I'm bigger, you know what I mean? So he's like, damn, nigga, you know. And so, you know what, when you fucking with a comedian, especially like that, they always low-key bagging on you. You know what I'm saying? So we keep you laughing and shit. So it was this other comedian that was over there. And I kind of knew him loosely from the barbershop. He was old ass-kissing nigga, but he was over there and I think he was trying to get a job writing or some shit. And so everything was cool. Cat always kept a harem of bitches around, you know what I mean? Because he kind of carried it like a pimp, you know, somewhere like that. So, and the thing is, they like zombies. Like, they can't look at you. Like, you know what I mean? They just look. He got them hoes trained, right?
Right.
And so I had kind of said, I was like, man, y'all got something sweet or whatever. And he had them make like fresh cookies. And the bitch brought me cookies and grapes. But they can't talk though, right?
and
They
grapes.
can't talk. And so, man, we just chilling. But then he just starts going on a tirade about Nick Cannon and Kevin Hart. This is when he was going through his fuck them phase. And he just ranting, man, bitch ass nigga. And I'm like, oh, okay. And so I start thinking to myself, like, damn, now I see why I ain't seen this nigga in a minute. Like, yeah, let me start plotting my exit. You know what I mean?
Right.
And so so Cat like guns like I like guns. So when I walked in, he had a Desert Eagle, a gold one, on the table. And so I had a black one. I was like, nigga, he started talking about basketball because we used to play basketball together. He's an avid basketball player. He can't really play, but he liked to play. And so the nigga, I said, well, shit, I'll play you for that gold one. You know what I mean? And he was like, okay, you know, let's do it. So the nigga disappeared for about 25 minutes. He came back, had on a furry Kango and a LeBron jersey. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know what you know what I mean? So the shit was just weird. It was a Kango, a furry one, yeah. And it was the skull cap one, right? And so it was weird. And so I had a FN with me. So I was like, well, man, I didn't tell him. I just went to go put it in the car. And so when I came back in, I just came back in, the nigga hit me with the, nigga, you should have knocked. I was like, knock? Like, nigga, I just walked out. I was just here. What, you forgot I was here?
You know, I wasn't here.
And so he was like, you know, he said something kind of slick. And I was like, oh, shit, okay, this nigga, you know what I mean? So I was like, yeah, I'm going to have to go ahead and go. So I told him, well, I'm going to go get something from the car. I was really just going to leave and not say nothing, right? So the nigga follows me out and is like bouncing the ball. and because he lived in a cul-de-sac. So he like, let's play to 11 for the gun. So long story short, I mean, I beat him, of course. Like, what the fuck else gonna happen, right?
Right.
And so, nigga just went off on me. Nigga just went left. Nigga just,
But you cheated or something?
Fuck no, I didn't do none of that. He just, I don't know. He got to tell you that story. He just went left, right? He had this white chick that, she was a real androgynous looking chick. Like, she looked like Ellen DeGeneres, but I guess that was his security, like real butchy looking. And everybody was just, it was like the Twilight Zone. Everybody was looking at me, shaking their head like,
you know what I'm saying? You don't know. They know.
Yeah.
They know
like,
stuff.
What it was, I found out after the fact, I was supposed to let him win.
Oh.
I didn't, I mean, nigga, fuck it, he grown. Fuck you. You wanted to get out there. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
I gonna pacify you. So I was supposed to let him win. I didn't. So he got mad and he just went left, man. And it was weird. So I got in my car, I left. And, you know, long story short, a car ended up running into me on that street over there, you know, and come to find out it was him. I didn't know it was him. I thought it was another car that was I thought it was some bullshit because Suge was managing him at the time. And so it was some other gangster shit that went down, you know what I'm saying? And so I had to get some niggas up off of me, excuse me. And so when I made it to the other side, the police were waiting on me. And, you know, I had dumped the whoop-de-wop or whatever. And so my car was all fucked up and they didn't know what happened. You know what I'm saying? They just knew it was a wreck. And so I didn't find out it was him till the sheriffs called me. And the sheriff was like, man, because I didn't know who hit me because I kept going because it was on a dark ass street. So I was like, you know, my survival start kicking in. You know, I'm like, yeah, I got the thing, but I don't know what's going on. You know what I'm saying? And so, yeah, that's what happened. So I found out it was him. And I didn't talk to him for years after that. You know what I'm saying? So we had a little exchange on social media on his IG. He pulled me in, and that's the last time I talked to him.
What about the bus?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I was tripping.
That's a whole
with that.
different story.
I was tripping with that. Yeah. Well, what happened was, I was in my feelings after that happened. I was in my feelings, and I told him. I said, "My nigga, I want $100 grand, or you know, for my car, pay for my car, and just for my trouble, nigga. You know what I'm saying? Give me $100 grand, or you can't go to certain cities and get no money, no shows for you, nigga. I'm just telling you, you know." So a few years later, he ended up going to one of them cities that I told him not to go. And so I had a little situation, you know, there. And niggas was just gonna really scare him, you know what I'm saying? Because to be honest with you, at the end of the day, I would never do nothing to him because I still had love for him. It was just two brothers, but I was mad. I was in my feelings. So I'm like, nigga, you know how you feel like a nigga get his shit off on you and you like, you gotta get your lick back. But it wasn't that serious. But I wanted to scare him. But yeah, my little partner who I had that was going scare him, ironically, it was God. His mother was on the bus with Cat, and we had no idea. Because like his mother had hit me like, hey, I know you looking for Cat. I'm on the bus with him. But she don't know on my other phone, I'm talking to her son, and he about to scare the bus.
That's crazy.
And so I call him like, nigga, your mama is on the bus. He like, what the fuck she doing on the bus? I said, I don't know. You know what I mean? I didn't know she was there. And so that's a true story. That right hand of God, that happened like that. So at that moment, I let it go. You know what I mean? And that was one of those lessons that I got, you know, about forgiveness. You know what I'm saying? And grace and mercy. You know, I you know, it's still my dog. It's still my brother.
You told a story about that was real intriguing to me. About you was at a house.
Mm-hmm.
You were in Kansas City, and I think you was in Kansas City, and it was some young man disrespected you.
Yes.
And you had your hammer on you.
Yeah. Yep.
And I think the question they asked you is, when was the first time you knew you was a man?
Yep. Yeah. That really happened.
And that was a hell of a story, because in order for you to allow somebody to talk that shit
Yep.
and not do nothing to him and have the upper hand,
Exactly.
That's some man shit.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's and I was actually proud of myself after that. You know what I mean? But that's what I'm saying. Once you allow yourself, room to grow and evolve, and allow yourself to change. It's okay to change. You know what I mean? And then too, once I moved to LA, man, I just started doing self work. Like I was telling somebody else, man, like I would be in LA when I first moved out there. I moved to a rich area. And I would find myself sizing niggas up, mugging niggas, picking them apart. In my head, I'm like, you bitch ass nigga. And I don't even know them. And I had to think to myself, one day I checked myself and said, man, why are you doing that? Why are you doing that? And I'm literally having this conversation with myself.
Yeah,
like,
because you was going to find what you was looking for.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, somebody was going to
Oh, fucking
respond.
right. Yeah, and people had responded, people had responded. So, and then, I started just doing the work and I'm like, damn, that's some Willie Lynch shit. Like, that natural, mistrust and disdain for your brother. Something that looks like you and acts like you. You know what I'm saying? You hate it.
When they killed Nipsey, I wrote a poem. I'm going to send it to you and let you check it out, though.
Yeah.
But I basically said that, we always looking at, somebody like they the enemy.
Exactly.
We
and
the ones.
We the ones. And I had to undo that in myself. So I was going through that process when that situation happened, and we deal with each other so heavy-handedly, you know what I mean? And I I'm not perfect, bro. So even now, sometime, like, I might see certain niggas from my city be playing with my name on social media, and I gotta check that old shit. You know what I'm saying? Because it be speaking to me like, nigga, next time we in the city, pull up on that nigga and smack him. You know what I mean? Yeah. But then I got to tell myself, nigga, you too old for that. You got too much to lose. Sometimes you got to talk yourself down off the bullshit. But, it's still about doing the work. You know what I mean? And so, that's when I knew I had grew up, when I didn't care about the pissing contest of who tougher and all that shit. It didn't matter. It didn't matter, And it still doesn't. That's why even with when you say how I addressed the Wack situation, same thing. It's with no malice. It's no, it's not acrimonious. It's nothing like that. Matter of fact, I felt like I addressed them like a grown man and in love. And that's how I do, because like we getting to know each other. Hell, you might do something and I might just respectfully say, oh, gee, check this out. You know what I'm saying? I know what you said, but bro, I think you was wrong. You know what I mean? Or vice versa. You should be able to say that to me. So just because we disagree on things don't mean we have to kill each other. It don't mean that it's funk. That's what I have to tell people. One of my
platforms that we're building right now is called CTAC, Conversation to Avoid Confrontation.
Oh, that's dope.
And one of the main reasons why we sit up and kill each other because we don't know how to conversate.
Real shit.
We don't know what to say when it's time to have that conversation.
Yep.
So I want to make that a curriculum.
Yes.
And I want to make that to where it's give you the game on how to say and what to say, when to say, when it's time to just be quiet and listen.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
That's a form of communication also.
Yeah, that's real shit,
You know
OG.
what I mean?
Yeah, that's dope. That's dope.
So,
and when I can remember when I was younger, falling out with a few of my homeboys, as you do, as you grow up. And I remember as we got older, we looked back on it and we was like, what did we fall out for? And nobody could remember because it was so petty. Right. And I said, you know what? I said, y'all understand what happened there? And I was like, none of us grew up with dads. So we didn't know how to communicate. We didn't know how to say, my nigga, check this out, bro. You hurt my feelings. You know what I'm saying? Or allow a nigga to say, well, my bad, bro. Or I'm standing on it, but let me tell you why I'm saying what I'm saying. You know what I'm saying? We just get in our feelings and we posture and it's ego and all of that. And that breaks down the communication, So, yeah, you right about that.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, yeah, man, we appreciate you coming out, man.
I appreciate being here, brother.
Most definitely.
Yeah, I had to come. I'm honored to be on the show, bro.
Yeah, man, I'm honored to have you on there. I got to come do yours, man.
Absolutely. You're more than welcome anytime.
Slide out to LA. I got to do Yuck. Yuck Mouth, he want me to come on there and argue with him. So I'm going to do that.
I got Yuck coming next week.
Yeah, he's a funny guy.
He said argue.
I just did an interview with him.
Yeah.
He was funny.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But yeah, we appreciate you coming. Let the people know what it is that you, your social media, your podcast, whatever. Let them know.
So y'all can subscribe to the Holding Court podcast. subscribe, like, and comment, and then you can follow me at I Am Big Court on IG and the Holding Court podcast. And let me see, that's it. Yeah,
Right.
that's it.
Okay. So check this out. We're gonna be signing out, man, and we appreciate you guys tuning in, and we want you to continue to subscribe, like, share, and everything that put our numbers in the air. You feel me?
Yep.
Everybody got a little cold. You see, Myisha couldn't show up, but my niece, she did a great job.
Sitting there for the
You know
great
what I mean?
Myisha Pooh.
No doubt about it. Make sure that you guys tap in with the really dope. These cookies so motherfucking good. I tell you right now. Hostile Takeover. Come get y'all. These the new ones. These the new hoodies. You know, we got the Pooh to come up in case you want to rob something.
Filthy Hustle,
Yeah.
Southland Mall.
Yeah. So make sure you guys tap into that. You know what I mean? And we appreciate you guys. And once again, salute.
All right.